probably don't even need this, but we'll give it a go. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. Just as a courtesy and a reminder, make sure your cell phones are please turned off and muted at this time. We'd like to thank everyone for being here today to remember Shelby, but also showing support for her family. Let's open with a prayer. Heavenly Father, in this time of sorrow and confusion, we gather to remember Shelby. We acknowledge the pain and questions that surround her loss. In your infinite wisdom, you know the depths of her struggle and the reasons behind her decision. We pray for comfort and understanding for Shelby's loved ones. May they find peace in your loving embrace, and the memories they shared. Grant them strength to endure the days ahead and courage to seek healing. We also pray for those who may be struggling with similar thoughts, Father. May they find hope and help in your light. Guide them toward the resources and support that can offer a path to healing and wholeness. In your mercy, may Shelby's soul find peace and eternal rest as we entrust her into your loving care. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
At this time, I'd like to read Shelby's obituary. It is with great heartache that we are sharing that Shelby Marie Kerr has gained her wings. Shelby is survived by her mother, Leanne Kerr, and her father, Todd Heider, her big brother, Zach, and half-brothers, Michael and Carter. Shelby is also survived by her aunts, Robin and Rhonda, and numerous cousins, Karina, Justin, Kennedy, Madison, Taylor, and Jackson, along with many other friends and family. She was preceded in death by her Uncle Kenny and her grandmothers, Sherry and Joanne. Shelby had a contagious smile and could fill the room up with her laughter. She was tenacious and goofy and was always asking questions and seeking answers. Shelby grew up in the meeting halls of NA, and she easily made friends with other kids and enjoyed camping, dances, and all the other family events that NA put on. Shelby was loyal, especially when it came to her friends and family. She had a warm and loving heart. When Shelby reached adulthood, she spread her wings and explored what and where she wanted to be in life. With that freedom, it sometimes brings struggles. Although Shelby did struggle, she knew she was loved and her family was her biggest supporter, and she would do her best to stay in contact with them. With the heartbreak this brings for Shelby's friends and family, please, if you are struggling with substance abuse, mental illness, or thoughts of suicide, please reach out. In lieu of flowers, would you please honor Shelby and donate to the National Suicide Prevention? Inside your program, I would like to read a poem. This is entitled, Look for Me in Rainbows. Time for me to go now. I won't say goodbye. Look for me in rainbows, way up in the sky. In the morning sunrise, when all the world is new, just look for me and love me as you know I loved you. Time for me to leave you. I won't say goodbye. Look for me in rainbows, high up in the sky. In the evening sunset, when all the world is through, just look for me and love me, and I'll be close to you. It won't be forever. The day will come, and then my loving arms will hold you when we meet again. Time for us to part now. We won't say goodbye. Look for me in rainbows, shining in the sky. Every waking moment and all your whole life through, just look for me and love me as you know I loved you. Just wish me to be near you and I'll be there with you. Shelby was loved by each one of us here today, just as much as she loved each one of us. Her laughter was infectious, Her spirit was vibrant and her love for others was boundless. As I talked with Leanne preparing for today, I learned more about Shelby. I learned about her curiosity, her adventureness. She was humorous and silly, especially when it came to playing with her nephews and nieces. She has an independent spirit that led her to be unafraid and willing to try new things, or as Leanne said, she's not afraid of anything. Rhonda shared a funny story with me as well. Shelby had a love for animals. And when Shelby was staying in Colorado with Kenny and Rhonda, she met Taco, and she loved Taco, which for those of you who know Taco, a little dog who probably could win the ugliest dog competition. But nonetheless, Shelby loved being with Taco. So much, in fact, that she wanted to sleep outside with Taco. Rhonda wasn't too excited about this scenario, but as only Shelby could persist, they were able to seek out a compromise. So for the rest of Shelby's stay with Kenny and Rhonda, Shelby and Taco slept outside in a tent. That's right, Shelby and Taco side by side, sticking the night out in the backyard tent. If that doesn't scream I love animals, I'm not sure what does. Shelby had a personality that made it easy for her to make friends wherever she went, as I am sure so many of you know. She was a friend to all, always there to lend a listening ear or a helping hand. So it is with heavy hearts that we acknowledge the circumstances surrounding Shelby's passing. Suicide is a complicated and often misunderstood issue. There is no easy explanation for why such tragedy occurs, and the pain and confusion it leaves behind can be overwhelming. In times like these, times of hurt, pain, and confusion, it is natural to turn to our faith for comfort and guidance. There are so many Bible verses that can offer us words of hope and solace, reminding us that even in the darkest of moments, God is still and always with us. The book of Psalms in the Bible is a collection of religious hymns and poems found in the Old Testament. Psalms covers a wide range of themes, including praise and worship. The readings deal with deep emotions and experiences of human condition, from joy and celebration to sorrow and pain. And in Psalms 34, we hear these words: "The Lord is near to those who are brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit." The Lord is near to those who are brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. These words offer a profound message, a message of comfort and hope to each one of us, particularly in the context of suicide. They offer us hope that God is not distant, has left us alone or abandoned, but rather he is intimately close to each one of us, especially those who are experiencing deep emotional pain and sorrow. It suggests that even in the darkest moments of despair, God is present. He is with us, offering his love and support in undying, conditional love. This verse emphasizes God's closeness to each one of us who are suffering and his promise to provide comfort and healing. Further on in Psalms, verse 147, we hear these words: "He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds." He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. When we read these words, we can be assured that God offers his comfort by affirming that his healing extends even to those who have succumbed to despair, including Shelby, providing comfort that he is present in their suffering. And this reading assures us that despite the tragic end of a loved one's life, God's healing and grace encompasses the deep emotional wounds they experience and continues to offer peace to those that have been left behind. The loss of a loved one is a profound experience that can leave us both feeling adrift and alone. Grief can be a heavy burden to bear, and it may seem like there is no light at the end of the tunnel. Yet, even in the darkest of moments, there is hope. As we gather here today and mourn the loss of Shelby, we find ourselves confronted with the reality of mortality. It is a painful reminder that life is fleeting, and that even the most cherished among us must eventually leave. Yet amidst this sorrow, we can find comfort in these words from the Bible. There is a time for everything, a season for everything, a season for activity under the heavens. So even as we are in the darkest moments of loss, there is a purpose, there is a plan. Though we may not fully comprehend it now, we can find solace in the belief that Shelby is in a better place, free from the burdens and sorrow from this world. While we may not understand the reason for our loved one's passing, we can find peace in the belief that her journey is not over. While Shelby is gone from our sight, her spirit lives on in our hearts. Her memory can be a source of strength and inspiration, guiding us through the challenges that lie ahead. As we grieve, it is important to allow ourselves to feel emotion. Tears are natural. They're a natural expression of sorrow. They can be a healing balm. We should also seek support from friends and family and loved ones. Sharing our experiences with others can help us feel less alone and more connected. Though the pain of a lost love may linger, hope is a powerful force. It can help us to find meaning and purpose in our life by remembering the love and joy that Shelby brought into this world. Through this, we can honor her memory and the impact on each one of us. While we may never fully understand why Shelby had to leave us so soon, we can celebrate the beautiful life that she lived. She brought joy and laughter into our lives, and her memory forever will be a source of inspiration. Let us honor Shelby by living our lives with the same kindness, compassion, and love that she showed us, and let us find comfort in the knowledge that though she is gone from our sight, she is never truly gone from our hearts. As we mourn her loss, let us also commit to raising awareness about mental health and suicide prevention. Let us break down the stigma surrounding these issues and create a world where everyone feels safe and supported. Let us remember Shelby not for the way she died, but for the beautiful life that she lived. Let us cherish the memories we have of her laughter, her kindness, and her love. And let us find strength in the knowledge that she is now in peace. At this time, I would like to ask anyone that would like to come forward and share a story about Shelby. And maybe actually I even have one that I will start with. I think I have a couple here. I will go ahead and read. Auntie Ray? Is that Riri. There we go. That sounds like a Shelby name. Shelby, I am still trying to wrap my head around all of this. My heart does not want to accept this. I hate that I cannot be there to hold your mom's hand and hug your brother for you. I've been thinking about how we became a bonus family together. Your mom used to have a picture of you hanging in her bedroom when we were roommates. She and I met at a rough time in each of our lives. We would sit outside and talk about what it would be like to have our kids back, what we would do different, how we'd be there for our kids this time. When that time came, you and your mom were inseparable. You definitely knew how to push your mom's buttons, but your mom never gave up. You'd come to meetings with her because she knew how important it was to stay clean and find new way to live. This way, she could be the best mom possible for you, just as she promised you. I remember when Zach came to visit, we all went kayaking. Right off the bat, you two argued like brother and sister as if no time had passed with you two. I think about the many times you and Aaron would stay up late at night hanging out. The birthday parties, the barbecue, Christmas dinner, and decorating the big-ass tree in the front room. I am so grateful that you and Aaron had each other to be goofy with, a couple of goobers in a peanut shell. As you grew up, our lives didn't cross much. This doesn't mean I didn't love you or wouldn't do anything for you. Shelby, I love you and will always remember the little blonde-headed girl with a sassy attitude and a big smile that could light up the room. I will miss you. I love you always. Auntie Ray Ray.
Does anybody else have a story they would like to share?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shelby's Aunt Rhonda, and I'd like to thank all of you for coming. For all your love and support that you have given Leanne and Zach during this really difficult time. They're both very, very grateful for all your love and support you have been giving them. Shelby was always such a sweet, curious, and fun-loving little girl. She wasn't afraid to go out on her own and have her own adventures. She made friends so easily and was always happy to be around people. She loved animals and the beach. Shelby came to stay with us on and off over the years. When she was 7, we went on a camping trip to Leavenworth. She was so excited to go tubing on the river that she kept asking, when are we going? When are we going? So once we finally got on the river, we're relaxing into this 2-hour trip. It was about 20 minutes in, and Shelby says, are we about there yet? Shelby was always ready to move on to the next adventure. When Shelby was about 12, she came to stay with us in Denver for a few weeks. It was one of the best times and memories that I've had with Shelby. She was so helpful and so sweet with my 3 young girls. She spent time with us going to the park, going to outdoor concerts in the evenings, going to the lakes to swim and play in the sand. And yes, when she arrived in Denver, it was her first time meeting Taco and fell in love right away. And like Galen shared the story, they were the best of friends, and she loved sleeping out in the tent with Taco every night. Kennedy really enjoyed her time that summer as well. Shelby and Kennedy would do each other's hair and makeup, and Kennedy just enjoyed that time, having an older cousin being around. Shelby was also so good to Madison and Taylor. She'd keep them busy while I made dinner and hold them and play with them. There were so many great memories made that we will hold them near and dear to our heart always. We love and miss you, Shelby, and look forward to hugging and holding her one day again on the other side. We love you, Leanne and Zach. And thanks again, everyone, for coming and showing your support. It means the world to us.
Thank you all for coming today. My brother, Zach, these are just some of the memories that we had. When I was with her, there was always happiness and joy. I was always there for her to be a big brother and try to help her with her. When I would come out for summer visits as a teen, we always went to meetings or for walks to the beach to explore. They were always adventurous and filled with joy and happiness. She started to act out, and I got to be there to guide her and show her life in the right ways as a big brother. We slowly started to drift apart because I decided to get clean and was hoping to lead by example and show her if I could do it, so could she. And I just set healthy boundaries with her so I could get clean. I remember we got to go to the recovery camp out. It's the Wiley Creek camp out, and I got to enter a horseshoe tournament. And I remember how excited she was cheering me on with her laugh and smile. Words can't even begin how much I miss her every day. She will always be my shelfster. Her inner gap tooth and silly smile and laugh. I will never forget her. She is no longer suffering, and she is in a better place up there with my Uncle Kenny and my Grandma Sherry. Thank you. Thank you for all coming.
Although we may have drifted apart over the years, I will always cherish the connection we had when we were both navigating some difficult moments in our lives. Shelby had this incredible ability to find joy and make fun from the simplest things. We were always doing something, from scrapbooking to jumping into the freezing ocean. I remember one summer afternoon when we decided to go on a venture to Bloedel Donovan. The sun was shining, and it was a hot day for sure. There was no stopping us from cooling down in the summer heat. We managed to climb all the way up Alabama Hill. But man, it was sure worth it. Let's just say the walk down was for sure easier. That day we spent hours laughing, sharing stories, and even playing mermaid. Her laughter was infectious, and she always had the funniest jokes, I swear. Shelby was a true friend. She was a source of support and understanding. We leaned on each other, sharing our struggles and finding solace in our friendship. Those experiences shaped who we are today, and I'm grateful for the memories that we created together. While our paths may have diverged, the impact that Shelby had on my life remains. Today we honor her journey and the way she's touched the lives of so many. Thank you for allowing me to share. Let's carry forward the spirit and joy and laughter, keeping her memory alive in our hearts.
My name is Wendy, and I didn't want to come up here, but I have the honor of knowing Shelby, not only through her and my son, being friends and growing up in the rooms, but also as a fixture with Leanne. You know, when I first met Leanne, and it was very clear that Leanne was willing to do whatever it took to get her daughter back in her life. And what I can say is, what an incredible mom. You know, as a parent, you know, we all make mistakes, and we all do things, and we all learn, and of course we all want our kids to do different than we did. And so when Shelby started having struggles, she knew exactly where to go. And you know, she kind of made her own little community. And while sadly this is a deadly disease, I really hope that you know, if you have a loved one that struggles with mental illness or substance use disorder, that our kids grow up and we can be, you know, good examples, but they write their own testimony. And I know for a fact when I had to make the call to my son, who just moved away, about Shelby. It's really hard. And as it was shared about, you kind of learn about your own mortality, and as a parent, you think about, this something happening, and what I'm so grateful for is that Leanne, you have a community, and Shelby was proud of you. I don't know how many times she called me when she turned into an adult and seeking help and suggestions, and she knew she was loved. And I know she's super proud of you, Zach. And we can't all get clean and stop our loved ones from choosing differently, but Shelby knew she was loved and supported. And I'm gonna miss her. I'm gonna miss her old gap tooth with her smile and her attitude. It was hard because as they started growing up, and we had the kids together, and I'm like, yeah, okay, we're boy, girl now. I'm a boy. We can't really do that. But Shelby knew that she could come. She was part of my family, and she always will be. And so thank you all for coming. That's what I got.
Thank you, Lindsay. Not your last opportunity to share, so as you build your courage, I'll read another one. I am not sure who this is from.
My sister, Robin.
Okay.
Robin.
So Robin writes, one of my favorite memories of Shelby is when she was little and I had come down to Washington to visit. I took her and Zach to the mall. Shelby wanted a Build-A-Bear, so we went and got her one, and I bought Zach a skateboard. One of my other favorite memories is when Shelby was 15, she came to Canada to stay with me for a bit. She had her 16th birthday while here. We all went out to dinner at Kelly O'Brien's. She had tacos. They were like waffle fries. They come with this special sauce to dip them in, and Shelby absolutely loved the sauce. I ended up getting her a jar of the sauce, and she was so excited she could have it all to herself at home. It's a popular sauce, so the restaurant actually sells it in jars. It was cute and funny to see how excited and happy she was. Every time I see a sunflower, it will remind me of her because she loved sunflowers. I will love you and miss you forever, Shelby. Karina writes, one of my favorite memories with Shelby is when I was younger. I didn't know I couldn't text the States, so I was texting Shelby in group chats and with her family and friends. Only to find out I racked up $600 in a phone bill because I was texting the States. Would anyone else like to come up and share this time? I appreciate all the stories and the comments, and please, as the afternoon continues, remember to share those stories and the love and laughter and the memories that you had with Shelby together as we continue in fellowship. So this time I think we'll start the slideshow. Is that like that?
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken. So I hung my head and cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray.